Welcome to the StockMiner.com studios. I'm your StockMiner Brian Johnson, and a huge move up in the markets today. Apparently, durable goods was all it took to move this market up. So we talked about this yesterday. I said you gotta make the market prove it to you, and this is exactly why. Exactly why. Did we see good bearish action coming into the end of yesterday? Yeah, we sure did. We did. And I said something to keep your eye on. Overall, though, guys, we were still in a bull flag, and bull flags are bullish. So you got to make the market prove it to you. When you start jumping in and you start taking chances and you start to think that you really have got it figured out, that's about the time you're going to get burned. You've got to wait for confirmation, and that's why I really preach that here at thestockminer.com. It's so important that if you're going to trade, you do it and do it right. It really is. So we saw that move back up above about 10,780, 10,800-ish, and you could took entries at either one of those places if you weren't already long and made yourself some coinage today. The biggest run, of course, happened right at the beginning of the day. We had a decent, what was it, at least 100 points, I think, to start the day on the Dow, and then a straight run up right at the beginning of the day, and then just kind of float our way into the close all day long. So opportunity to make a teeny bit of money today, but for anybody getting overly bearish, it's tough. You got burned. Next week, I think I'm going to be really watching next week closely. That's the week I want to get most interested in, quite honestly. And we'll see how things decide to close at the end of next week. See if we get any kind of major move down. I'm just going to be, and I'll probably talk about this more on Sunday as I blow through today's video. But guys, I got to tell you, it's a sucker's rally at this point. Just straight up with you here. I mean, I told you I thought we could go up a little bit more. I said the bull thing isn't broke yet. There's just no reason to get bearish. Sure enough, we saw more bullishness today, but I'm telling you, it's not healthy. What we're doing here is not healthy, not for the bulls. So, are we going to crash to below 1,000 or whatever? Well, maybe, sure. Anything that moves back down quickly needs to be looked at and only looked at as a pullback. I'm going to say it again. Okay, a pullback. That's it. But I think when that happens, I think it'll be vicious. I think it'll happen pretty quick. We'll see some big red candles down. We'll see some heavy selling coming into the markets and stuff. And then everybody's temperament's going to change again all of a sudden. But make this market prove it to you. We'll talk more about it on Sunday. I'll give you some new levels to watch coming into next week. Maybe some new lines for us to keep on our charts as well. But what we're seeing here, even on a daily, here's that little pullback. Remember I said there's a little pullback. We talked about it. On Monday we had the big run up, and then we didn't really go anywhere the rest of the week. Yes, we moved down, but it wasn't anything big. I said watch for numbers to see if that makes a difference. And they decided not to crash. This is interesting. Not to crash on job numbers, but to rise on durable good numbers. The market is taking any and every small piece of good news it can get to run upwards here. I'm having a hard time believing in this rally, guys. I think at this point it's a sucker's rally. Continue to go long. I'd be careful doing it holding overnight, and take profits when you get a chance, but I'd be very cautious holding on too long to the long side here. You might end up getting burned. All right? So when it ends, I don't know. We could do this for another 4 weeks. I have no clue, but I'm telling you that this isn't healthy to be running up like this. We need a little break in the markets. And the markets are just taking every bit of good news and trying to run it back up again. So we see anything. Obama brushed his teeth this morning. Yeah, rally! Up 25 points. It didn't matter what was said in the markets, like today. Job numbers came out. They're not good. Housing numbers are still not that good. Oh, but durable good orders. Yeah, okay, well, let's rally on that. This is very common. This is very common to see this in the markets, by the way. When the bulls want to push it up, they don't care what bad news comes out. It's all about the good news. Some of you that have looked back at the summer, remember when the last summer when the market just kept going up and up and up and up and up, and we would wake up and jobless claims were up, and unemployment was up to another 1% or 0.5% or whatever it was. The market was like, yeah, let's rally, and it went up. Do you remember? And you're like, what? Wait, why are we rallying here? The market's going to do what it's going to do, regardless of what the news is. And right now, the market wants to push this thing up. I think it's a sucker's rally. So keep that in mind coming into next week. All right, so That was 5 minutes of your life you'll never get back. Let me blow through the rest of this thing. NDX on a 60-minute, still the monster, hanging above the blue line even after today with that big gap up. Look at this thing. I told you this looked like a pullback. Just a pullback. Sure enough, here we go today. Break to the upside. Huge move in the NDX as everything stays strong. That's just an incredible run. 2050, 2060? Yeah, why not? Why not? No reason to think we couldn't reach that, really. So be watching that very closely. SPX 60-minute also coming right back up again, up 23 points. This huge run, and it's up another 23 points. The bulls are just really having their way up here towards the top. 1150, giving it some fits. But any push up and over this area, I'd start being very cautious of this 1170-ish area. I think that might be the next level to watch it go. SPX on a weekly did finish up. Remember how this looked like a gravestone doji? This is why I like to wait till Friday to discuss weeklies. Okay, right back up again today. Nothing hurt there. So if it's going to be drawn anywhere, it's going to want to be pulled to that 200 at some point. VIX on a daily was also down huge today. Remember how far up it was yesterday? Today, every bit as far down. So it is confirming what we're seeing and back to kind of a confirmation type thing. However, keep this in mind. Over the last umpteen days, and I won't go into it too deep right now, over the last week and a half, look how we've gone nowhere. Now compare that to what the markets have done, and you'll see it's just not. There's a divergence there. The VIX is stuck. It's just stuck in a holding pattern right now. So we'll see if anything comes of that. But right now, there's no fear in the market. There really isn't. There's no fear. Apple is a monster. And here's $2.93, up another $3.40 today. 300? You betcha. Why not? Why not? We won't go into valuations and stuff, but you know what? What the heck? It is what it is. Go Apple, huh? I had 1 million calls to the long side on Apple, so hopefully you got one of them at one point. There's people out there that I know right now are going, yeah, I wish I'd have held a little bit longer and didn't, but you know what it is, what it is. So Apple's just been a monster lately. Still very good to play from an intraday standpoint. Up and over this 280 area was a great place to get long. Wow, what a great place to get long. That would have made you $12 just this week alone. And I've been calling for longs in Apple all the way up here, but above 280 was one that I definitely had just been hammering you guys about, and that was $12 just this week alone. So we'll see if it continues with its monster run up into next week. FAS on a 60-minute also up $1.50 today, starting to break some of these levels, getting right into some overhead resistance. This is very tricky to play down here. Notice how this support held very nicely. Now we get the gap. Okay, so we have a gap back to the upside. We'll watch and look for any more targets coming into next week. But look at what we did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's Monday. Go up, come down, go up. We didn't go anywhere. The weekly really didn't end up anywhere. So once again, we're chopping sideways. Notice how this one went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sideways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're sideways. 2 weeks ago, we started right around here, and look where we ended. Right around there again. This is why it's so important that you stick to day trading these things, okay? There's no swing trading going on in here. You're going to get your hand chopped off trying to swing trade these things. Day trade them. Get in sometime in the morning, whatever. Get out sometime later in the afternoon. They've been doing a pretty good job of trending during the course of a day, but man, I'll tell you, they're difficult to swing trade for any length of time. 2 weeks ago, you'd be break even today. It's not going anywhere. Sideways. FAZ then did see the drop, and with that drop, we saw this push. I said, watch, if it's going to get anywhere, watch for a push back above that 1420. That never obviously happened. With the gap down today, giving you a little bit of an opportunity to play this thing short. And it was pretty easy. Go short FAZ, go long FAS. You could have made money today. These things trended pretty nice, even from the get-go, from the opening day. But once again, this is exactly why we don't want to be caught swing trading these things. This is like, I think Monday this is like, what, the 13th? So we're so this is like a couple weeks ago, all right? And now here we are a couple weeks later. It's not going anywhere. Be very careful with these 3-time ETFs. Not saying don't play them, because they are a lot of fun to play because they move so much. But just from an intraday standpoint, I don't see any swing trades in here whatsoever right now. None. That'll do it for this week's, I guess it's the week-ending video. So Friday's done. You guys have a great weekend. I'll be back with you again on Sunday. We're going to discuss a little bit more about this market. I want you to chew on this over the weekend. Just be cautious. Not saying, once again, don't go long. Going long is great. Fine. Have at it. There's been great opportunities to make money to the long side. Don't stay out of the market to the long side, but be cautious. This is This is a sucker's rally. When it ends, I don't know. The other, it could go 2 months up like it did the last time back in whatever it was, May time frame, I think it was. Sure, we could see that again. I don't trust it. I don't trust it for a minute. So be very, very careful if you're going to go long. So if you're looking for those type of positions over the weekend, just want to be cautious about which ones you're picking. And then I will be back with you again on Sunday. For those of you interested in the mentoring, we had a pretty good call all week long. I'm very conservative in my trading style. The mentoring is all inclusive, and I work on your schedule. You don't have to. It's just you and me, one-on-one. I work on your schedule. When you have time, we start. We do our sessions. So it's well worth at least looking into. If you really want to do this for a living, you have to do it if you want to do it for a living. You have to have that kind of education if you want to really, really be consistently profitable in the business. So get a hold of me. We have lots of time to talk this weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.